Hey guys, it's Megan. So, like a lot of people, I've been doing most of my shopping online lately. And after the holidays, I was left with quite the collection of cardboard boxes. You guys know how much I love making recycled crafts, and cardboard is something that I pretty much always have. So in today's video, I'll be showing you a couple DIYs that you can make with recycled cardboard. But before we jump into it, I wanted to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes for creative and curious people. They have classes on all sorts of topics, like illustration, graphic design, photography, animation, and more. Skillshare classes are a great way to learn something new during your free time. It's less than $10 per month with an annual subscription. I just took a class called DIY Product Photography, Shoot and Style Creative Stills by Rachel Golota and Daniel Inskeep. I'm always looking to improve my photography skills, and this class was a super motivating way to start the new year. I really liked their suggestion of using props to take creative pictures. They suggested removing all of the focal points and taking a background plate image at the end of your session to make it a little bit easier to Photoshop if you need to. I also appreciated the emphasis on natural light and using what you have, and they gave some helpful tips about camera settings as well. If you're looking for inspiration, the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare's premium membership. So with all that being said, let's just get into the video. So going along with the photography theme, the first project that I made was this photography Lightbox. This is perfect for anyone who needs to take pictures of small things like products for an online store, food, or crafts that you've made. I actually made mine a while ago, and I tried to film the process of making it, but the footage was awful since it was so big and it was kind of hard to get everything in the frame. So I made a mini version to show you guys how to put it together, but I'll be giving you the measurements that I used for the actual Lightbox. For this project, you'll need cardboard, an X-Acto knife or utility knife, duct tape, white fabric, a hot glue gun, and 2 lamps that you can place on either side of the Lightbox. Start by cutting out 5 squares of cardboard that are the same size. I made mine 17 by 17 inches so I could use poster board for a backdrop. But if you're looking for something a little smaller, you could make each square 12 by 12 inches and use 2 pieces of scrapbook paper for the backdrop. Measure 2 inches from the edge of one of the cardboard squares. Do this on all 4 sides, and cut out the smaller square that you've created in the middle with an X-Acto knife. Repeat this for 2 more of the squares. Now you should have 3 squares with windows and 2 solid ones. Cover each of the squares with windows cut out of them with white fabric. I used 2 extra large t-shirts from Michaels, honestly because it was just closer than going to the fabric store. Repeat this for each of the 3 squares. Cut a strip of cardboard that's 17 inches by ½ inch and glue it onto the edge of one of the solid cardboard squares. To assemble the Lightbox, put the square with the strip of cardboard on it at the bottom, then a fabric-covered square to the left of that. Put the other solid square above the fabric one, then another fabric square on top of that. And finally, put the last fabric square to the left of that one. Make sure to leave a little bit of a gap in between each of the squares so that the Lightbox can be folded up and back down again. Stick the squares together with some duct tape. Put a piece of tape on each of the seams where the cardboard squares meet. Flip the project over and put tape on the other side. And that's it. To use your Lightbox, fold it up into a cube like this, with a strip of cardboard at the bottom. Place a lamp on each side of the box, and slide in a piece of poster board or scrapbook paper to use as a backdrop. Here's what the picture would have looked like without the Lightbox, and here's a picture with the Lightbox. This is probably one of the coolest things that I think I've ever made from cardboard. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite craft that you've ever made? I really like using cardboard to create wall decor. This next product I made gives an easy way to display your art projects or other small items. For this project, you'll need a strong cardboard box. Look for one that had something heavy in it originally. I used this one that originally held 6 gallons of water. You'll also need a knife, duct tape, old magazines or paper, Mod Podge, a hot glue gun, paint, and gesso, which is optional. I started by cutting the corners off my box. The corners of this particular box looked like they were reinforced, so the cardboard was a little thicker there. I cut the 4 corners off the box and duct taped 2 of them together. I repeated this with the other 2 corners, so I was left with 2 long strips. Take a hot glue gun and put glue on one of the pieces. Then place the other shelf piece on top. I made sure to use a lot of hot glue so that it would be extra secure, and put duct tape over the raw edge. I also wrapped 2 more pieces of duct tape around the shelf to make sure that it would stay together. To make it even stronger, I paper machéed it with some Mod Podge and old magazines. If you don't have Mod Podge, you can use regular Elmer's glue mixed with a little water. With traditional paper mache, you would dip the magazine pieces into the glue and stick it on with your hands, but I used a brush so it wouldn't be so messy. I put the glue on, put on a magazine piece, and then just brushed more glue on top. It probably would have been faster doing it the traditional way though. When that dried, I covered the shelf with gesso. If you don't have gesso, you could skip this step. You just might need more than 1 coat of paint. Then I painted the shelf white. You could obviously do something a little bit more like fun or creative, but I already have white shelves, so I just made one to match. Once everything dried, I attached it to the wall with some command strips. And here's how my finished shelf turned out. This is great for displaying things like art, pictures, or even lightweight children's books. Cardboard is great for making decorative projects like this. Some other decorative things that I've made were this moon phase garland, these Urban Outfitters style picture frames, this flower decoration, and these wall pockets. The last project I made was this rotating pen organizer. For this project, you'll need cardboard, 2 circular objects to trace, a knife or scissors, a bottle cap, toilet paper or paper towel rolls, a hot glue gun, masking tape, and paint. Start by tracing the smaller bowl on your cardboard and cut out a circle. Repeat this so you have 4 circles altogether. Then trace the larger bowl to cut out 2 more circles. Find the center of one of the smaller circles and trace around the bottle cap. Cut this circle out, making sure that the bottle cap can fit inside. Use this as a guide to cut out the center of 2 more of the smaller cardboard circles. Use hot glue to attach these pieces together. Stack the 3 pieces with the hole in the middle and put the plain circle on top. Next, hot glue the 2 larger circles together. Hot glue the bottle cap in the middle of that. Make sure that there isn't too much glue outside of the bottle cap. When you put the 2 pieces together like this, you have a basic turntable. I covered each piece with masking tape, but I think that I would have been better off using paper mache like I did on the shelf. The painting process was the same. I did a layer of gesso, followed by a layer of white acrylic paint. For the top of the organizer, I used 7 toilet paper rolls. I painted each one with a layer of gesso, then some white paint. When everything dries, make sure that the turntable still works. Then hot glue the toilet paper rolls to the top piece. And you're all set! I used my organizer to sort my Crayola super tip markers. But this would also be a great way to store makeup brushes. The turning mechanism made with the bottle cap isn't perfect, but it works and it's something that most people would probably have at home. I've made tons of cardboard crafts to help me stay organized. Some of my favorites are these bulletin boards where I store all of my smaller paint tubes, this clothespin wall organizer, these file folders where I keep my scrapbook paper, and these labels in my craft room. If you're interested in learning how to make any of the extra projects that I mentioned, they'll all be linked down below. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like this one. My merch, my website, and all of my social media will be linked down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys later. Bye!